Well, hey, happy day, you guys. Happy Thursday. Super glad you're joining us for another class. This happens to be one of my most favorite topics. And Kim and I talk about this all the time, the power of prospecting. And we kind of title this class Prospecting with a Purpose because we use what's called four different pillars. I always kind of like to talk a little bit about the power of five. And people say, well, what does that mean, Doug? And anytime you think about prospecting, I think we all think a little differently to how we prospect, right? Some Ray would say, gosh, I prospect at the grocery store, or I prospect at, some of the local restaurants or churches. I think we do all do things a little different, but I'm kind of one of those guys that says 80% of what we do, and Kim will agree with this wholeheartedly, 80% of what occupies our time should be prospecting, right? Did I say that right, Kim?
Yes, absolutely. 80%.
Yeah. And when someone says 80% of your time prospecting, you're thinking, man, I better be good about disciplining, when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it, and kind of have a beginning and an end to all of that. So, I'm kind of one of those guys that says, let's go through my power of five. And I got it right here on my computer screen. I say, reach out to five friends. Right away, five friends that need to know you, need to know what you're doing, where you're doing that. Uh, we don't want to be a secret agent. I want to make sure we're out there in front of five different people, and it can be more than five, but I mean, let's start with a goal that we say, hey, if we get to five of our friends, tell them what we're doing, tell them where we're doing it, and again, the power of just the opening conversations. Go to five different events is another one. I always talk about certain events in your community, certain things that you're drawn to, maybe you're passionate about. So kind of mix that up. I mean, I do a lot of things at our local church, at some of our local high schools, some of the summer programs that are out. So again, use your imagination in terms of where you feel like you can, as we talk about in this business, play in traffic. Go find people, right?
Hmm.
Number three, volunteer. I mean, we talk about volunteering. We talk about agents that find places, things that they're passionate about doing. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be centered around real estate, but it does about volunteering in your community. And
Hmm.
so if we could volunteer in five different places, or just start small, two or three different places where that we know that, hey, I can make an impact here. Obviously, these are people, some you'll know, a lot of people you won't know. But I will just about bet dollars to donuts after you volunteer at some of these places you're going to feel very, very good about meeting new people, having conversations with people. And sometimes it's awkward to do that, but in a volunteering environment, it's not so awkward. It's actually kind of fun. But you got to do it. Um, Next, we always talk about attend five community or what I'll say religious gatherings. Go to church. Go to church. Go to a concert. This summer is a waterfront worship down here in Grand Haven. Was there Sunday night. There were 150 people there. Heck, Kim, I probably knew 50 of them, 40 of them. But again, it was just an opportunity to be involved in your community in something like that. And I always say the last one is something that I don't think I do enough of, but I need to, and that's saying hello to five new people. And I'm
Hmm.
saying new people, people I don't know, people I've never met. How do I start this conversation with five new people? Um, it's kind of quite easy as you begin volunteering, as you kind of plug into some of those different things that I just mentioned. These conversations are pretty easy after you kind of get going. So those are kind of Doug Hale's power of five that I feel like I always want to make sure that that's in the forefront of what I'm saying and doing each and every day. So,
Good advice. Great advice. And you think about it, 5 times 5 is 25. So that is exponential for you. That's just with five. That's 25 touches in the week.
yeah.
And I also like the fact that you said meet five new people, not just for real estate, but just imagine what that does to your life.
Yeah. Yes.
And you
Yes.
meet five new people. You meet somebody new at church. You go volunteer. You meet a business owner from a nonprofit, or you meet a salesperson, or you meet somebody who's a local optometrist. Who knows who you're going to run into?
Yeah.
And you're not always going to become like immediate, really close friends, but they are connections. They are people that can add to your world, but even better, you get to add to theirs.
Yeah.
So I meet a lot of people, and I have made a commitment to every week learn to meet, to make an effort to get to know somebody new, whether that's from pickleball or where I'm volunteering, or
Yeah.
talk to a neighbor or someone at the grocery store, or my friends invite me over on their boat. Who might be there that's new? You have no idea who you might be bumping into.
Yeah.
And this business is built on connection, consistency, and conversations. If you'll write that down, connection,
Yeah.
being consistent, and it's all about conversations equal closings, right?
Well, and the second one for me, Kim, consistency. We always talk about things no different than advertising. Half the money you spend on advertising is wasted. You just don't know which half. Still being consistent in these five things that we're talking about here. Um,
Mhm.
I have a lot of agents that start and they say, well, Doug, I don't really have a big sphere. Well, this is where it begins, right?
Yes. Yep. Yep. That's right where it begins. Okay, so let's keep that number, write that down. 80% of my time. That means 20% of your time is is
Yeah.
working your other job if you have it. How are you going to manage that? Or you're prospecting while you're working your other job. If you're waiting tables, or you're working at a factory, or you have an admin job or a sales job, whatever it is that you do, that's a great opportunity to make connections. And so if we keep everything we're doing to having conversations, you will be doing it more than 80% of the time, most likely,
Yep.
unless you're
Yep.
sleeping.
Well,
Unless you're sleeping.
unless you're
But,
sleeping. Well, and it's interesting because I get when I started in this business, we always talked about the amount of people that will succeed in this business and
hmm
the amount of people that will not succeed in this business, right? And
hmm
and again, it was a little daunting for me to hear that because as I'm brand new, never sold my first house, listening to all these wise folks around me that are saying, "Look, Doug, 85, I don't even know what it is now. 80, is it 85% of the people um, in
New agents.
that go
Yeah.
into this business, let's say today, won't be in this business 2 years from now. So I,
hmm
I kind of looked in the mirror and said, well, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the 15% or 18% of those people that do well. So number one, I had to do it full time. Man, I was married. I had a 1 year old. I was scared to death. I just jumped into the deep end of the pool and said, I'm going to do this full time. That's it. I don't have time for anything else. For me to do what we're talking about here today, I've got to do this business full time. And that
hmm
was super scary. Um, but yet 20 years later, here the benefit is if you stay consistent, like you just said, Kim, keep those connections, keep those conversations coming, it will pay good dividends. So,
Yes. And the other side of that is, of the 80% that fail within 2 years, there are the other 20% who make it. And Doug and I were one of those 20%. Hopefully, you're going to be two of those, or four of those 20%.
yeah.
And so remember, everyone in this business started right where you're at.
Mhm.
But it all comes down to reaching out and conversing. And this is a people business. When I started, I had hundreds and hundreds of people that I knew. And remember, those people that already know you, they already know you, like you, and trust you, most of them. So now it's just a matter of building those relationships and turning them into choosing you to be the person to help them with their real estate needs. So let's talk about this. So everyone pick up your phone if it's close to you and
Okay.
tell me how many contacts do you have in your phone? Let me see how many I have. Does it tell us at the top?
33.
Good.
33? Who said that?
133.
133? What do you have, Ray?
540.
Anybody else want to share? Kate or Amberine? How about you, Doug?
Jeez, oh Pete, 692.
Want to know how many I have?
Tell me.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh,
1,946.
oh my
Mm.
gosh. Who's in this phone, Kim? Is this everybody you meet
Everyone,
here?
everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know that I use 1,946, and that is not including, maybe that is. I'll have to look if
Hey.
that includes all the five-star agents or not. I'll have to look because that would be 900 of them.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't think I have all them in there.
Well, mine don't. Mine's not.
No,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
1,500 are from my personal email. So
Okay.
just know right there in front of you, I think Kate said she had 104. Now, we don't need 1,900 if we're not using them, but that, my point here is that that's where you begin
Mm-hmm.
because you have 100, 500, 1,000 contacts who know you in some sort of capacity, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's your dentist, your dry cleaner, your eye doctor, who grooms your dog, who plays soccer with your kids, who you play pickleball with. It goes on and on and on,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So you have all these contacts. So I'm going to tell you one of the first things I want you to do when you get off this call is I want you to go make your own contact. When you put your name in here, I should come up, Kim Anderson. And then what I want you to do is make your own contact card and take that card and put in your phone number, your email, if you have a link for your LinkedIn, a link to your Facebook, if you have a Linktree account, make that contact about yourself full of everything where anyone can reach out to you,
Mm-hmm.
your information. So then when I meet Doug as a first time conversation at pickleball, I can say, and know what they say, let's share our numbers so we can call each other to play,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
when I share my contact with Doug, it has everything about Kim Anderson, the realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to follow my real estate page, whatever it is, it's got all of my information right there.
Yep.
So maybe take your top, do take your card and get that all prettied up for you. And then when you do meet people, you'll be able to share that with your top people that maybe when you reach out to them and say, hey, do you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell, blah, blah, blah. You say, well, here's my contact information. Then when you share it, everything is right there.
Yep. Yep. Boy, that's good advice. That's good advice. And it's interesting too, because someone would say to me the other day, hey, who goes into this context? I mean, do you put everybody that you meet, the open house on Sunday that you do? Uh,
Yep.
yeah, the answer is yes. Because you just never ever know. And Kim, that's great advice with all that contact information that again you can share. You can begin that friendship right then and there. It begins, really, right?
Hmm. And the more information you get when you decide that you want to begin sending the five-star newsletter, which is absolutely free, you're going to need an email address and you're going to need some information. So you can put that into that database and you can continue to build it. And the other thing is when you're sharing information and somebody's sharing with you, depending on what the conversation is, I was sharing with an agent the other day. And when you go, or if you're just writing down their phone name, phone number, if you're not putting it directly into your phone, you could say, okay, by the way, what's your email address?
Hmm.
People will just give it to you. They
Yeah,
won't, they'll give it to you before they realize why are you asking for it.
yeah,
Say, hey,
yeah,
what's your email address?
yeah,
And they just give it to you.
yeah.
So now you can start building your digital database and just at the minimum use the five-star newsletter out of home base for that monthly update. It's really, really good. You can specify which report you want them to get. Is it Calhoun County, Kent County, Kalamazoo County, City of Portage, wherever you're at, it will let you give their specific market analysis or market update is what I meant to say.
Well, that's good. That's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Well, and it's helpful because again, you kind of touched on our second point that we wanted to talk about today, which is that building of that relationship. And
Yep.
how important is it? Someone says, well, it's in it's in my phone. So how do I start building these relationships? What do I do first? And I'm often one of those guys that talks about the sphere of influence. That group of people that you have the most influence over. That's really that core is kind of like a spoke on a wheel. Those are the people that, I mean, they're going to go to war for you. They're going to fly your flag anytime there's a
Yes.
conversation that comes up that involves real estate. Sometimes I don't even have to be there during that conversation. Something
Hmm.
comes up, and one of my great friends will say, "Hey, you need to call Doug. Doug will kind of be your reference point. He'll be your person that's going to kind of make sense in terms of all of this." And so those things, that sphere, the sphere that you touch base with, even on a regular basis, someone says, "Well, why do I call them?" Well, you just call them, just touch base, touch base.
Hmm.
Again, it's about being consistent, like I said before, in terms of what you do. So that's important.
I
The
like that. You said they will wave your flag for you.
For sure. I've had people call me and say, "Hey, I was down at Meyer the other day and I ran into so and so, and he said I should give you a call."
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So, and I wasn't even in the conversation, didn't know what was being talked about, but they were pointing, all their thoughts and comments to me to say, "Doug, make sense of all this, will you please?" So that was good.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that's good. I had a call the other day and someone said, "Hey, so and so's a friend of my son's and they're going to be calling you. They want to buy a home." And and so that's exactly what you want is people connecting you to other people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So we have our sphere of influence and then this topic of database. Where do we build our database from? Like,
Mm,
where does that come from? Who should be on our database? Well, let's start with those we know
yeah.
and people that we can connect with. And then as you grow, we send out to you via my email campaign 150 ways to build your database. Cleaners, dog walkers, car detailers, eye doctor, med doctors, cleaning people who clean your home. What do you have, Doug? How do you
And
begin to?
I always love to say, any place I spend money, those are the people that I want to put
I
on.
like that. Yep.
And it sounds simple, but to the point, you just mentioned a few of those. And those are the people that I want to make sure that are on my database, people that I come into contact with daily, weekly, even monthly, just to make sure that those folks are there and we're beginning this relationship. So,
Yep, yep. And I'm going to share. So, for my business, I've been in business 25 years. I sold homes here in the Kalamazoo area. Then I moved to Florida. The market crashed, came back, scrubbed my database. There
mm,
wasn't a whole lot really left of it. Then I had some personal things happen. So I took care of my son for a while. He passed away. And in the meantime, I went and got my broker's license and just said, I just need something that's steady.
yeah,
So I've been brokering for Five Star since 2017. And I just did that for many, many years because that's the energy that I needed to give my focus to. But the last 4 or 5, 6 years, I started to sell real estate again. But if you can imagine, I don't have any systems anymore. So I have been rebuilding them. And it's been actually kind of fun because I'm practicing what I'm teaching agents to do
yeah,
and reconnecting, doing all these things. So, one of the things after I scrubbed my database and added all my new people who are in my life, I do one thing that is super easy is I do a quarterly newsletter and I will tell you the people I send it to absolutely love it. And so you can do it digitally, you can do one by mail. I do mine by mail because I want them to pick it up out of the mailbox and not be lost in all the email stuff. Even though I do send this 5 star newsletter email out and hope that they're
yeah.
reading it, right? They just get a lot of email, a lot of text. And so I want to show you how I started connecting with people. I have to get it up here first really
And people
quick.
comment, right? Don't they? I mean, are people that are in your sphere or I mean, just good friends of yours, are they commenting, "Hey, Kim, I got your newsletter"?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
They love the
Yeah.
newsletter.
Yeah.
They tell me, how much they enjoy getting it, how
Yeah.
it's totally me. So I'm trying to open it here.
And is it relevant? I mean, are there events on it? Is this when I say it,
Yeah,
you
I'm going to
say when you
show
say
you.
it's totally you, this will be interesting. I'm anxious to see this.
Yeah, it's coming up a different way. So let me share. Okay, you got all my background here.
Oh, I
I don't
like it. Yeah,
see
but
if
that's
I
all
can get
right. We
rid
can
of
see
some of this out of here. Look at all this junk that's hanging out here.
next
Ah,
chapter begins. Look at this.
yeah. Can I make it bigger? Let's see.
Yeah, for this old guy, I need it bigger.
I don't, then we're going to lose some of it.
All right.
So make it you. And um, I made my name for me. And but this one is core fact. I'm not here to sell core fact, but I'm happy with it. It comes completely done. I think it's called House Talk. So change it to be totally you. Is it too small to read, Doug? I don't know how to make it
Oh, no,
bigger.
I mean, we can see some of the bold things. I mean, I'm still focused on your summer pasta salad over here, but Kim's market snapshot, I can see,
You could
thinking
see,
about,
I
yeah,
let me see
thinking
if I
about
can
your next
make it.
chapter. There you go. Now
I'll
we're,
make it bigger. So I'll start with this. I named it what I wanted to name it, and I have a reason for that. Then I have my Q3, and then I have Heart, Home, and Helping You Write Your Next Chapter.
ah,
Now, the pasta salad, we have heard national speakers tell us don't use recipes. I can do Google and find my recipe, right?
mhm,
Well, I disagree. I've done some research myself, and you want something for a reason for them to keep this because they love it and slap it on their fridge.
mhm,
And I talk to other agents that keep that their clients keep their recipe cards for their favorite Christmas drink or whatever, and they slap it on their fridge. So this is my first time of doing a recipe on this one, but
mm,
let me make it bigger and then move it down if I can. I don't know if I can. Um, there we go. Is that better?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So I write my articles. Now they have a big snapshot right here. When you go into Corfact, you can go look at, they have a big snapshot about the market. My people are people I'm trying to connect with who know me and they know I'm a writer and they know my vibe.
mhm,
So when Leo, he's one of our agents, he always gave his was personalized to him, and he would give things like what he's reading, his favorite music for the day. He would do a drawing. He would do all kind. You have to make it you. If you like cars, add that in there somewhere. But I'm a writer, and I'm a mindset person, and I'm a coach. And so what I say here is, as a writer, I believe everyone has a story. So
mhm,
I'm trying to get them to connect with me because if they don't want to buy or sell their house, they're just going to pitch it.
mhm,
So I'm trying to get their attention in the midst of everything. But I like this article. I don't know if you could see it. I'll just tell you what it says. But it says, as a writer, I believe everyone has a story worth telling. As a realtor, I've learned that every home has a story too. So a lot of my marketing is always around the story of the home. And so some chapters begin with the excitement of buying a first home. Others unfold when it's time to simplify life, pursue a new opportunity, welcome a new beginning, or embrace an unexpected change. Whatever the reason, every move marks the start of a new chapter. This is my theme and my vibe. And so I go on and talk about those changes. So what am I really saying here is when you're ready to make that change, I'm your girl, right?
mhm, mhm,
And so then I have a market snapshot, and then I have thinking about, but then on the back of this, if I can find it right here's the back page. Now we have all the click the buttons, and this is a nice one because you can put up here, you can put your testimonials there, which
mm.
I'm not very good at getting those, and I've already run out, so I need more because I just over the years never asked for them. But then you have, so I put homeowners corner, 5-star service, but this is the best thing. When they click this QR code, this goes directly to their address. So now I have a capture button as well.
Mm. That's cool.
So
Yeah.
this is just one idea for me, but let me stop sharing here. So I really believe in this. Where are we? Where are you, Doug? Zoom.
I'm here.
There you are. I got to
Yep.
stop the stop share button. Hang on a second. Stop. Am I still sharing or am I good?
No.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. It's out.
Okay. So my point is get in front of them. Make it you. You can make it all about the housing market if you want to. That's just not the way I've chosen to approach it on mine.
Yeah.
Um, but do something. Get all these people. I actually added my dentist,
Hmm.
which
Why
I feel
not?
like
Why not?
why not, right?
Yeah.
My hygienist has sent me several referrals.
Wow.
So whatever you do, so Doug had wanted to see what I do. That's my way. You can make it whatever you want it to be. And then I wanted to put in the market snapshot. Last month it was front and center. This time it's down here. I'm still finding what I want to do with it,
Yeah.
but do something. Let people know you're in real estate.
Well, and that was Q3, so you do four of these a year, right?
For a year. Yeah, they
Okay.
cost me, I send 100 to my top 100, cost me $150. So I
Okay.
have $600 that I need a write off on anyway.
Sure. Sure.
And I'm keeping in touch and just something. And maybe you want to just do postcards. The other thing I did was I did a first quarter homes that I've sold,
Hmm.
wrote the story about each home without violating people's privacy. And I had one of my clients say, your marketing was brilliant because they were in my story, right?
Yeah.
And so find what fits you. I like my theme and like because I love to write. I am that person. So what do you do? How are you connecting? You have to connect with your audience. Now, if
Yeah.
you're a race car driver and you spend a lot of time at the Martin track, you're not writing about books,
Mm-mm.
right? You're writing about something else. Doug, what kind of like just for an example, if you're going to write a newsletter, how do you think you would center it to connect with your clients?
And you talk about have it be me. Uh,
Yes.
I kind of quite, I mean, I quite frankly think about, family. And I think
Hmm.
about when people say, Doug, what do you do for a living? I sell real estate. Well, what do you do when you don't sell real estate? What's Doug Hale all about, right?
Hmm.
Well, because they see me working, they don't see the other side of me. So what I love to focus on are the family things and a lot of things that I think a lot of people can relate to. And
Hmm.
so if I'm going to do a newsletter, and Kim, you kind of got me inspired because I think I need to get a newsletter started and I need that to be more about that. So there can be more, I would kind of create a newsletter where we'd be talking a lot about the market and things on one half of the newsletter. And I might kind of find a way that I could have that other side of the newsletter be more about who Doug Hale is or what our community is all about. So it's
Hmm.
relatable. I guess I'll say
Right.
it that way. And I don't know if I'm figuring that all out or I'm just kind of just sharing with you guys, but I think that would be a little bit more about what Doug Hale would kind of concentrate on.
Hmm.
Socially, I'm always at places where people know what I do, only
Yeah.
because they think I've done it for a while, and they love to start a sentence by saying, "Hey, tell me what's happening in the market," or telling me. And so I'm kind of invited into that kind of a conversation. They don't come up to me and say, "Hey, how are the kids?" Or how are they know me as a real estate agent. I'd like there to be something a little bit different there too, so that I could use both. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, and you're just talking through it right now. So that's a good example.
Yeah,
Maybe you highlight your family and you show you and your grandkids playing catch with the dog.
yeah,
It's whatever you want to capture so that they will hang on to that more than 3 seconds if
yeah,
they're not ready to buy a house. And
yeah.
it's like the old Art Van commercials. They could show you 3,500 mattress commercials and you wouldn't see it till you needed one,
Till I need
right?
one. Till I
And
need
then you
one.
need one, and it's like, oh, wait, they have a sale. So you just want to be top of mind. I like what you said about your community. Maybe you highlight a business owner, you highlight events that are happening in the summer quarter. However you want to structure it, it's
Yeah,
all about staying top of mind and becoming their go-to person. And you could stick in there, hey, if you need any contracts, give me a call. I'm your pro. I have lots of leads for you. Or
yeah,
you could
yeah,
say a lot of things, but every quarter it's showing up and I'm gaining momentum. What's amazing is when as we all know, when they click that QR code, I get an alert.
yeah, yeah.
So I
Well,
know who's looking and it gives me stats behind the scenes.
yeah.
So I like that part of it.
Well, and
But
the other piece, real quick, I always use the word be genuine. I want to be genuine
yes,
in
yep.
what I do. I don't want it to feel like it's corporate. I don't want it to feel like it's, not an infomercial, wrong choice of words, but something that feels not personal. so they can
Right.
connect. So yeah, keep going. I was interrupted.
Perfect.
Sorry about
No,
that.
that's all good. And so connections, what's the other few things you can do? What we want is when you leave here, you have no excuse for not prospecting. We're gonna fill your quiver so full and you pick two or three that you want to do and you just do it well. You pick your lanes and do it consistently, do it over and over. Um, Community connections. What if you went every day and worked from a coffee shop?
Hmm,
Just sit there working. You know you're going to talk to people while you're sitting there.
no question.
That's another way you can connect. Um, you could make a list of service providers and send those out. You can send a market update, invite them to a client event. We already talked about this, churches, community, volunteer for charity groups, networking, volunteering, attending. We've kind of talked through all of that. So
Yeah.
the third pillar is converse. Let's talk about those conversations. How do we do that, Doug?
Well, it's interesting to me because I want them to, and I keep using the word genuine, being genuine in conversations. People say, "Gosh, I'm going to be on Facebook with my morning connections. I'm going to, communicate." Doug Hale doesn't do that. Doug Hale would rather send a personal note or a card. My approach is basically is very low key, Kim.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that just pushes Doug Hale at people all the time, but I do feel the importance of staying connected and having what I'll call meaningful conversations. And that can be anything from a conversation I had this morning with my neighbor that their kid's going off to college. She's scared
Mhm.
to death. The daughter's going to be an incoming freshman at Michigan State, right? And
Oh,
so
yeah.
we had a lot of conversation around that. Wasn't one thing said about real estate, but it was about my neighbor who has a daughter that's leaving for college. And so those kind of conversations are so meaningful to people because they show you care,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and I do that by way of notes. I do that by way of uh, these these people that are on my weekly call list. And they're not ready for buying real estate yet. I think in this business we use the word incubating a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know what that word meant when we were first talking about this. And then I'm thinking, well, now I kind of have a pretty good idea what that means. I mean, obviously, it's got to be there. When the time comes, I want to be that guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what leads up to that is some of this quote unquote incubating that I'm doing right now, which is to have these conversations and be a part of their life. And so those are really, really important ways for me to stay connecting, and conversing with not only first time people that I've just met, but people that I have known for years.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. They're just conversations.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
to everybody,
Yeah.
whether that's through print. We prefer face to face. That's where we always want to be is face to face.
Yeah.
But you can do it through print, you can do newsletters, you can do personal notes, you can do that morning Facebook conversation with your social media. You
Yeah.
could do home reviews. Our ninja graduates, they do annual home reviews.
Yeah.
And we won't get in that today, but those are very, very good to stay in touch with their clients. And they're just constantly trying to keep that door open and having the transaction or the relationship continue after the transaction.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hardest part because we're already in conversation for these, 3 months, 6 months, however long it takes, and all of a sudden they close. Then what do you do?
Yeah.
It starts to fall off. So you have to stay connected. That's the hardest part. If they're not in your daily sphere or weekly sphere, or
Yeah.
that's where you have to make some attempt to keep incubating that relationship so you stay top of mind, whether they have a change or their friend needs somebody, you want your name to be the first one that comes off their lips, right?
Yep, yep, yep. Well, I love it. No, and we always talk about being a resource too, being a resource
Yes.
for people. This is kind of our friend Tracy Johnson, who also is a part of our broker support team. She always loves to. She says, "I'm a connector. I like to connect.
Hmm.
I like to
Yep.
find a plumber, a pest control person, a roofer, whatever. I also want to be that guy that if somebody needs something." They say, "Hey, let's call Doug. He knows a
Right.
lot of great people in this world and people that he trusts and knows. And so that again keeps this conversation going. Even after the sale. I'll have people call me and want to know more. So I wanted to touch on that because that's something that most people don't think about, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. So before we go into our fourth pillar, what comes up for anybody? Thoughts,
Yeah.
questions? Ray, are you undoing your mute button? Trying to?
Trying to.
There we go. I'm clicking the wrong microphone. No, I'm actually starting to build part of my stuff for that right now. It's not into play yet, but I'm just in the process of playing with it. Um, and it's exciting. It's just a lot
Mhm.
of work you got to put into some of this to get it going, and then I think the rewards will come back in time. But it's just for me, it's just time to just finding the right time to put everything into place. But everything as discussed is almost right on point with what I want to do. Now it's the fact of just following through with it and executing it. So great
Yeah.
That's
information.
perfect.
Thank you for the valuable, information.
Well, that's
Perfect.
good.
The one thing I always say is your best system is the one you do.
When you use, right?
The
Yep.
one you use, whatever
Yep.
that is.
Yep.
Perfect. That's good. And we look forward to hearing what comes back. What the point we're trying to get to you is it's not as hard as you think.
Hmm.
It's just about relationships. Now, are there systems where you can pay and buy leads and go that approach? Absolutely. That's one of your options. You can buy leads. You can do open houses. You can volunteer. We at Five Star really focus on your sphere of influence, but you absolutely can buy leads if
Hmm.
that's what works for you. Open houses will work for you. What are some of the other things that?
Hey,
Um,
Kim,
yeah,
before you go any farther, you had mentioned before we got on this group call what your Sunday looked like. Share with these guys and gals what Sunday looked like when you said this was my day.
yeah,
You know,
yep,
you were ordering things, you were filling out cards, it's time
yep.
consuming, but it's time worth like being.
Spending, yes. So because I'm a full-time employee.
Mhm.
And so whether some of you might be full-time, part-time, I'm a full-time five-star employee. So I have a commitment of 50, 60 hours a week that I spend on broker support and education. So if I want to build my real estate business, I have to find time somewhere to do that.
Mhm.
And I don't use five stars time to do that. So Saturday I have my personal things to get taken care of, and on Sunday, now I worked my business. And I spent between 2 and 3 hours, sat down at my kitchen table. I have a spreadsheet right here, and I wrote my happy home anniversary cards for the month of August. I knew I was going to be away the first part of September, so I pushed them even a little bit further. And I wrote all of those. I wrote thinking of you. I wrote sympathy cards. I ordered a little stone with Bella and her little heart footprint for my neighbor who just lost her favorite dog.
Mm.
Have her card here ready to go. Anyone that I had been saying, oh, I wrote a congratulations to one of my clients who got engaged on Facebook. And I kept making these notes all through the week or weeks. And it took me about 2 or 3 hours, probably closer to three, to sit down and spend the time reaching out. So if
Mm.
that's, if you that'd be like 30 minutes a day during the week. So I have all my home anniversary cards ready to go. I put a sticky note so I know theirs is August 17th. So I know about the 10th. I got to drop that in the mail. But I set it all out because I won't do it. And I went years without doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am literally writing happy anniversary cards to people I haven't spoke to in 25 years.
But you're doing it and you're just
I'm
staying.
doing
I
it.
mean, so Sunday afternoon, you could have been doing 10 other things.
Yep.
You're not. You're in front of that. You're disciplined. You're making sure that that gets done. And when you told me that, I'm like, that's crazy discipline, man. That's great. So,
Well, I had to bank it because it's on my calendar and it just keeps getting moved, moved, moved. And then after that, I have a listing coming up next week that I needed to get ready for. So I needed to go pay some attention to that. I have a closing coming up here in the next few days. So I need to pay some attention to that. And a lot of it you can flip during the day, conversations, emails, follow up. But I needed to really sit down and writing notes, I wanted them to be genuine.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks ago, I had to sit down on a Sunday and do this newsletter. And so it takes discipline. You have to really want it.
Uh-huh.
And you want the reward of it. And I don't want to start and stop. And so what I'm letting people know in my world is, yep, you missed me for a little bit. You're not really sure why, but when you call me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But all they can see now is Kim is being consistent. We really liked her when we bought from her in 2012,
Yeah.
and she's back. Guess what? 2012, and they might be getting close to selling again. And I have stayed with some of my repeat customers. So now the people I'm in front of, I add them immediately upon closing. They get right on my mailing list. So if I have a just listed, I send it out. If I have a just sold, I send it out. So build what you have. If that's 20 people, send it, call, text 20 people. If half of them gave you business, that's now 30. You just have to look at the bigger picture.
Question. No question. Well, that's huge.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Amberine, Kate, Jim, any thoughts or comments before we talk about the last pillar? Everybody good? All right, let's keep going. What do we have next, Doug? What's our last? Well, there's lots of things to
Perform. Oh my
perform.
gosh.
Yes.
Delivering remarkable service, right?
Hmm.
Well, perfect example of that was Kim Sunday, right? I mean, how
Yep.
many people are going to give that kind of service, do the notes, do the follow-up, all of the things that you just shared with us? Um, super, I mean, just setting expectations, setting clear next steps.
Yep.
You said you've been out of the real estate business for a while. This is now the time that you're going to build that. These are the ways you're going to do that. And man, if it's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. You're jumping back into this and you're doing all of these things the way you should. So
Hmm.
that's to me, that's huge. That will
Right.
separate you from how many other people that are working in the world of real estate. So perform, delivering the remarkable service.
Yes. And delivering it during the transaction
Yep.
and after the transaction and staying in the follow-up. And so we now have the world of AI that
Mm.
can help us with these things. We have home base within 5 star that can help us with these things. I use a system called Folio. There are systems out there like CoreFact that I use for marketing. There's Wise Agent, Top Producer, Follow Up Boss, Pipe Drive. You can use your calendar. I have here a spreadsheet that I use. Someday I might get AI to help me with that. I use a spreadsheet. I literally write on it the date I sent their card. As you get busier, you're really going to need a system that helps you. I know, Doug, doesn't your wife help you with some of your
Yes, yes,
follow-ups for
thank
your
heavens.
things?
Otherwise, I'd be lost. Heck yes,
Yeah.
she does. Yeah. Yeah. But and she'll scold me for not finding out those personal things that we want to know, the anniversaries and the name of the kids and the dog, and I mean all of the things that draw you to people, and that comes from a personal level. So yes, she does help me with that.
Perfect, perfect. So all of these things together, we're just throwing out all different ways that you can build your business. And it is all around prospecting and continuing to have those conversations. I got to tell you, it felt so good about 6 weeks ago when I picked up the phone and it was a client I hadn't seen since, well, I've seen him once, but I haven't done business with since 2012 or 13. And he said, I want you to list my house.
Yeah.
That feels good. It's like, wow, how did that happen? Right. And so it just feels good when they find you and you reconnect. And now I've really enjoyed getting to know him and his family again and all those things. And I try to stay in touch with my current past clients. I know we call them current clients, but my past sales and
Mhm.
just, not drop it once the deal is over. I check in on them, ask how they're doing, try to go to lunch periodically. But the truth is the longer it gets away from their closing, the harder
Yeah,
it is to keep in touch. So we want to do something, right? Because not everybody's in our everyday world. We're not rubbing shoulders with them.
right.
So,
They like you, they trust you, right? So why
right.
wouldn't you call them after the sale? I hear a lot of agents say, well, I don't want to call them a month after they've closed because Doug, what if there's something wrong with the house? Or what if there's, geez, I don't know if this is going to be a good time to follow up. It is a good time to follow up. Please
Yes.
take that time, make that call, even if it's just a minute, just to say, hey, we closed about a month ago. You've been in the new house. How are things going?
Yep.
That'll
Yep.
go a
I
long way, folks.
I've
So,
been sending my newsletter now for the past year, and I had one of my clients call me after the this last newsletter went out, and she said, "Kim, I've been meaning to reach out to you every time I get this cute little newsletter from you." And and she said, "I finally decided I'm going to do it." So I'm like, "How's the house? Have you put in a pool yet?" She's like, "I wish, you know." And I see the other one. I'm like, "How's the renovation going?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm waiting till I retire in a couple months." And you just find things to talk with them about, and it's really fun to hear from them. It's really fun to talk with them and reconnect because we most of them we enjoyed while we were working with them.
yep.
And so we're just staying human, helping serve people around us,
Mhm.
and they love hearing from you. Like I said, I have people I haven't talked to in 20 years and they're on my past sale. I don't even know where their house is. I
Right.
mean, I don't even know, but I'm trying. I remember them when I worked with them, but I haven't had any contact. So I'm just trying to reconnect. They loved me then. They should love me now. By between now, you say, oh, they might have another realtor. Yeah, they do. They have choices, right? So as we wind down here, you're hearing a lot of things. It's always a combination of art and science. We want to have educational topics. We want to have personal. You want to have, you want to have both things going. So that's what I try to do is I have my art, which is me and my personality, and then the science are the market stats and what's going on in the market. And I mix those up. This month I did more of my personal, but on the back was all full of what's your market value, what do you want to know, and to pick up the phone and call me. So, what other things do we can we think of here, Doug, um, that
Hmm.
you do or we could share?
Hmm.
There's all kinds of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a spin-off of what we just talked about with the newsletter.
The
You know,
newsletter,
they
right?
want it genuine. You want to make sure that the information that you provide, people are always asking questions about.
Hmm.
And so it kind of gives you a chance to just connect. And to me, those conversations go very, very well because
Hmm.
they're low pressure. I let them kind of drive the conversation, but
Hmm.
yet kind of it's an ability for me to check their temperature too, just to say
Hmm.
what's happening in their life. And again, they're casual conversations that lead all kinds of different places, and you don't know where they're going to lead until you what? Till you engage. So,
Right.
and I think that's what a lot of people don't do. Well, gosh, it's
Yeah.
been 3 months. It's been 6 months. I don't know if I should call them. I don't know. This feels awkward, right? And the
Hmm.
reality is just pick up the phone or send a card or however you choose to communicate with them, just so they know you're thinking about them.
Yeah, and that you're still there. I
You're
had a client, it's been 13, 14 years, and she contacted me through LinkedIn the other day and she said, I'm not ready to sell, but I think I want a lease. Can you help me?
ah,
Found her a company that would help her for her leasing for the management.
yeah,
And I hooked her up with someone.
yeah,
And we're just there as a resource
yep,
and we're there to help them and make their lives better. That's
yep,
really what we're here to do. So
yep.
the last thing I want to talk about is one of the most important things as an agent that you really, really, really have to get right, and that is your mindset.
Mhm.
Mindset matters in this business. You can see the glass half full or half empty. There are enough problems to solve that you can be negative Nelly or you can be the positive influence in a conversation that's emotionally charged.
Mhm.
But even just not just in the transaction, but yourself, getting up every day, starting out with whatever it is that inspires you. keeping your glass full. This business can change one way or the other really fast. You can have no business then be busier than ever. You can
Mhm.
be busier than ever and have things start to fall through. That you're going to become a really good problem solver and learn how to pick that up and find solutions. I help agents, Doug helps agents every day find a solution to keep their deals together. I don't know that I've ever had a deal not close. I can't think of one. Maybe there was one, and I was devastated.
Mm.
It's been a long time ago. I don't like it when my deals don't close.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I know I've listed one house that never sold. I don't like that. I'm in here to help be the pro and to close the transaction. So just stay aware of what is your mindset. How are you thinking? Are you thinking you can do this? Are you thinking I'll never get to this?
Yeah.
That really, really matters in this business.
Yeah. It's a big piece of that. That's for
Yeah.
sure the big piece. And again, to your point, getting up every day with that mindset. We always talk about how important it is, but do we practice that, right? Do we
Right.
really do that every day? Or
Yep.
is it, well, it's cloudy today and man, I don't feel like doing that. And all of a sudden the focus has changed. So the word consistency, communication, all of the things we know we need to be about every day. I agree with you 100%, Kim. 100%.
Yeah. Stay, as Doug just said it again, stay consistent, stay positive, make it a habit, turn everything into an opportunity, even when it doesn't go the right way. I mean, we're going to help you, you're going to help yourself. Our team is going to help you to save the situation, whatever's happening in it, that it's falling apart. We're going to help you get to it. If you can't get it together, you're going to still use it as an opportunity to learn. What
Mhm.
can I do different next time? So, this business, the one takeaway, it's not about doing everything, but it's about doing the right things consistently.
Yeah.
It's about prospecting, connecting, having conversations, giving good service. All of these things matter, and every good agent that you see has become a pro at doing these things.
Mhm.
So
No question. All
I
good
hope
stuff.
this was helpful. Any thoughts, any questions? Anybody want to share? Jim?
It's good to hear across the board, both you, Doug, and Kim. I mean, bring years of experience into it, and it sounds like a lot of other areas where I've done sales and owned a business, and um, pick the things you're good at, stick
Mhm.
to them, push them forward each day. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but just one thing each day, and
Yes.
pick the things you're good at, and just keep pushing them forward. And that's what you guys are saying. You gave me a lot of good examples and a lot of good suggestions. So appreciate it all.
Well, that's
Oh,
great.
you're welcome. Perfect. Yeah, you got a lot of ideas here today, and look down and see what you wrote. What's the one thing or two things? What is it? Are you good at community events? Are you good at asking people to have coffee? You're welcome, Amber Range. So this was awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything. Just choose what you're good at and do it your way. And
Yeah.
you don't have to fit the mold of anybody else.
Mhm.
Do and be you. That and do it every day and just keep doing it and you will have good results from that. So we're glad to see every one of you every week. And
Yeah.
any final thoughts, Doug, before we close?
Man, I got none. I got none. You guys filled my cup full. I'm ready to go prospect. So,
All right. Well, thank you, Doug, for being here today. Thank you, everyone. It's good to see you. And as usual, if you need anything, reach out to our broker support team. We're always happy to help and have the good rest of your week.
Thank
absolutely.
you.
All
Kim,
right. See you later.
Hey,
Bye.
Kim, Ever.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ray.
See ya.
See you guys.